proper harvesting, fermentation, and drying techniques to create the best quality cocoa so that only the tastiest beans go into our products. Our farmers have also signed commitments that they will not do illegal deforestation and hunting activities. In return, we pay prices of up to 3 times the market price for the beans. We use a system called Cocoa Trace to ensure full traceability and transparency in our supply chain. We can trace back each bag of beans purchased to the farmers who grew the beans. This is one why we ensure quality and sustainability. We're proud to be the first and only Indonesian chocolate maker to win awards at the Academy of Chocolate in London. It shows that what we produce is on par with the best in the world. Through our model of working directly with farmers, we are not only able to ensure that we provide better opportunities for them, but also ensure environmental sustainability and quality and safety for our customers.
Halo, nama saya Wahyu. Saat ini saya sedang menjalankan usaha camilan buah dengan merek unggulan yaitu Mango Time dan Meru Bali Coconut Chip. Mango Time adalah camilan manisan mangga dengan rasa asam manis khas buah mangga yang dikemas secara eksklusif dan menarik. Saat ini Mango Time terdiri dari 2 varian rasa, yaitu rasa original dan spicy. Sedangkan Meru Bali Coconut Chips adalah keripik buah kelapa yang diproses dengan cerah di oven dan hanya menggunakan sedikit gula untuk mempertahankan cita rasa asli dari buah kelapa itu sendiri. Untuk distribusi dan penjualan, kami memiliki outlet sendiri di Discovery Shopping Mall Jalan Kartika Plaza. Selain di sana, kami juga bekerja sama dengan Indomaret seluruh Bali, Circle K, Carrefour dan Transmart, dan kamu juga bisa mendapatkan Mango Time dan Meru Bali Coconut Chips ini di reseller yang ada di kota kamu.
All right, greetings to everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Madam and sir,
welcome to IAAS Summit 2020. I'm Hasna.
and I am Bagus.
And we will be your host for today. This year's event, however, is very different from the past years that we are having this event.
Yes, and I'm sure that this change is noticeable as we are having this event through online platform because of COVID-19 pandemic.
And although we can't meet face-to-face and eye-to-eye, I'm very sure that this event will be as fruitful as the past ones.
With that being said, what we are facing right now is something that we have never experienced before and comes with its own dilemma.
With a lot of new current challenges and problems, we need to come up with a quick and efficient solution to make sure that the problems we are facing right now will not be prolonged.
So, as one of the constant things this year, we come up with the theme, Communities Empowerment Through Sustainable Agriculture, in hoping that this will be one of the ways to unravel solution regarding what we are facing today.
All right, before we get to the main event, I will be reading through the rules for today's event. Number 1, participants can enter the meeting room 15 minutes before the event starts. Number 2, participants are requested not to activate the microphone during the event. Number 3, participants are advised to activate the video with the virtual background of IAAS Summit 2020. Number 4, please make sure the talk show and Q&A session _ questions. And lastly, please fill in the attendance form and feedback form to get your e-certificate.
We would like to thank our sponsor first, which are Krakatoa, East Bali Cashew, Agradaya, Meru Bali Coconut Chips, and Machamu, who helped sponsor this event.
Before we get into it, let us hear an opening speech from the co-founder of IAAS Indonesia, none other than Mrs. Ina Nasution. Other than being the co-founder of IAAS Indonesia, Mrs. Ina also is the co-founder of Hope for Our Children, which is a non-profit that helps economically disadvantaged children. And also MBA for Miss Ina. The time is yours.
Terima kasih Hasna. Bagus. Ya, terima kasih. Rekan-rekan, adik-adik IAAS Indonesia, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ina Nasution. I was the co-founder of IAAS Indonesia, International Association of Agriculture Students of Indonesia. What a pleasure it is to be here today to celebrate agricultural students' active participation in IAAS Summit. I cannot help but reflect Indonesia over 26 years ago after participating in IAAS World Congress in Thailand in 1991 and in Belgium in 1992. My memory brought me back to a forum in Belgium that elected IAAS Control Committee members. I thought as a young woman and a young country member like Indonesia, the chance was rather slim when I nominated myself. I was genuinely surprised and honored to have been selected as one of the 4 control committee members from the 11 candidates. It was quite an experience. We communicated through fax since now smartphones are at your fingertips 24 hours a day. Yet that did not deter me, nor any of us, from establishing IAAS Indonesia. We set up an exchange program system that allows Indonesian agriculture students to participate in internship across various IAAS activities within our first 2 years of IAAS establishment. I stand before you to celebrate more than 25 years of IAAS Indonesia's existence. It's important that we celebrate not only what this organization has done to prepare agriculture students to be leaders, experts, and practitioners in this past 25 years, but also for all the work that all of you will be doing in the future. In the years to come, you will be paving the way in the field of agriculture. To figure out what you can do to help farmers succeed, to promote community empowerment in agriculture, to unleash the innovation, it is appropriate to understand what sustainable agriculture is and what are its challenges. Agriculture provides jobs to approximately 49 million Indonesian, or 41% of the total labor force. In the next 50 years, Indonesia has to take into account the changes in the weather pattern, diseases, while making sure that farmers are profitable. Because you cannot have sustainability without profitability, since that is the core of sustainable agriculture. The success of sustainable agriculture depends upon the actors, the government, NGO, educators, industry professionals that are continuously bringing farmers in the years 2003 and 2013, between those years. Think about that. If the trend is going to continue in the next few years, it will be possible that Indonesia will lose all of its farmers by year 2063. Asian Development Bank wrote in its 2019 report policy that key to solving the problem is increased investment in agriculture to modernize food system and markets and make them more efficient. Infrastructure investment in rural roads and processing facilities should be expanded in partnership with the private sector, the crucial element to this effort, the report states. There are technology-based companies that use Internet of Things, or IoT, to help farmers monitor their farms remotely, that improve farmers' financial access, optimize local supply chain, and facilitate links with modern market. Agriculture Minister Syahrul Yassin Limpo stated that encouraging young people could be a huge challenge, but he has pledged to support young farmers by expanding access to innovation and funding schemes. The ministry will continue to develop district-based agriculture counseling centers to better respond that agriculture sector will thrive and young people will grab the opportunity. Globally, artificial intelligence or AI and IoT increasingly help make farming more profitable. AI-controlled machinery could automate irrigation system. A recent market research report indicated that AI agriculture market would use a compounded annual growth rate of 28% between 2019 and 2024. Today's agribusinesses efficient and sustainable. Farmers and farming offers young generation additional methods to find solutions to some of the world's biggest challenges. There are many challenges, but culture, a voice at the policy level and in the media and
trade system, health system, etc. A sustainable food system is a food system that delivers food security and nutrition and leave no one behind. We need to build a better system for future generations that is pay more attention on several aspects such as economic, social, and environment. Transforming food and agriculture to achieve the sustainable development goals. What is the implication of the COVID-19 situation for food production and agriculture, especially in Indonesia and the Asia region? The COVID-19 pandemic situation has affected the trade chain, especially the distribution of the agricultural products. In the middle of March 2020, Indonesia and Asia-Pacific region, many farmers in various regions had to become movement restriction. The COVID-19 pandemic has also caused the decline of the income of many non-farm workers, non-public servants. In fact, many of them have completely lost their job. Although the disruption of the food system change are minimal so far, challenges have been already experienced in terms of the logistics. Foods need to move across the border with no restriction and to mitigate the pandemic impact on food and agriculture. FAO urges countries to meet the immediate food need in their vulnerable population, both their social protection, their program, keep global food trade going, keep the domestic supply chains gear moving and support smallholder farmers' ability to increase food production. In March 2020, FAO warned about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the potential global food supplies as shipping industries experiencing a slowdown in activity due to the port closure in several regions. Many breeders and farmers have also difficulty in marketing their chicken, fish, and agricultural products. The situation is, however, the better public awareness in implementing health protocol, the decline of the trend of COVID-19 cases in Indonesia and in the region is a new hope to recovery for the recovery of the food production and distribution system. Despite many challenges faced during the COVID-19 pandemic, the agriculture sector continues to grow. The contribution of the agriculture sector to gross domestic income in second quarter of 2020 increased by 2.90% compared to the first quarter of the only 0.02%. The Ministry of Agriculture of the quarter of 2020, the agriculture sector contributed 2.15% positive growth to national economic growth compared to the same period in 2019. This is partly because of the Ministry of Agriculture continues to develop a national logistic system strategy to simplify supply chains and distribution intervention. The Ministry of Agriculture also continues to work on synergy and collaboration with various parties in maintaining the availability and distribution of food, particularly for 11 priorities commodities, including rice, maize, sugar, salt, red eye chili, beef, egg, chicken, and cooking oil. What is the key principle in sustainability for food and agriculture? Let's back to the global food situation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some warning provided by FAO, we will achieve the food crisis, national and global. But Ministry of Agriculture then take some action. We also see that observed in the local market, the national market, even the global market, the rice price also increasing. This is some challenges experiencing by some parties that COVID-19 pandemic provided a lot of impact to the food supply and distribution. Even the food production is not affected so much due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but we have a problem with the food distribution, then provide impact to the food accessibility because of the decline of the purchasing power. What is the key principle of sustainability for food and agriculture in pandemic situation? In addressing the situation, FAO has encouraged for innovation in agriculture sector to ensure that sustainable food availability, including integrating agriculture system through intercropping, fish farming, etc., climate resilience agriculture, crop biodiversity, and encourage the development of family farming practices by using yard around the houses. They will also promoting some key principles integrated in planning, implementing, monitoring evaluation, optimization of the development and utilization of the local food, coordination of logistic infrastructure and e-marketing, reducing food loss and waste, providing added value for actors through establishment of farmer cooperation, labor program, or activities as a part of the safety net. How smallholder contribute to the Indonesian agriculture, food security, and economic development. Agriculture and food security is not only depend on large scale farmers. The smallholder have provided a significant contribution to agriculture, food security, and economic development in Indonesia, which in addition to producing food for the need of their families and surrounding communities, also contributes to the national food production and reserve. Considering the challenges faced by the smallholder in recent years, smallholder need to develop some innovation as follows. This including observe the market needs, supply of agricultural commodities, international market, wholesale market, and modern market, as well as put attention on supply on agricultural commodities from outside the region to minimize the competition among the producers in an integrated agriculture system, including the rice fish farming system, to minimize the risk of failure, utilize the more ensure variability of the intake and supply in the market. Develop a climate change resilient agriculture system to minimize risk caused by the extreme climate change. The additional aspect including digitizing production center and developing agriculture entrepreneurship. Policy support for the distribution of production facilities and agriculture products is urgently needed. What is the great potential agriculture in support economic growth in Indonesia? As economic growth during the pandemic situation. In addition, currently creating effort to ensure agriculture production and productivity, including livestock, fisheries, trade, and other subsectors. In the food crop subsector, production of cereals. A part of this meeting domestic consumption need, Indonesia has also started exporting certain quality of rice and maize to several countries. Production of legumes, especially soybean, mung bean, and peanut, become an important commodity to increase or to contribute to the economic growth at the national level. In the plantation subsector, oil palm, coffee, pepper, nutmeg, cashew, vanilla, and rubber contributed significantly to the country's foreign exchange. In the fisheries sector, protecting marine resources in order to increase capture fisheries production and encourage aquaculture also very important to contribute to food supply, food stock, and to economy. To summarize, meeting the need of food to boost national economic growth is not only government task. It is the responsibility of all of us to ensure the fulfillment of food needs of our community and our country as well. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, we should contribute something in accordance as a practitioner, food industry, business actors, researchers, and policy makers. Therefore, various innovations are needed, not only to develop healthier and more efficient supply chains, but also to distribute food effectively national economy. Therefore, we need to put our attention more on food production and agriculture as well, the national economic growth. The agriculture sector also needs to be encouraged as a strategy to accelerate the national economic growth. That is all for the my presentation, and apologize for any disturbance during the presentation because sometimes the internet connection not stable. Back to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Wayan for your presentation. Next up, we will have Mrs. Gusniar Nurdin from UNDP Project Associate for the SDG Academy. So maybe let's have a sneak peek on her profile. She got her bachelor degree at University Kebangsaan Malaysia and also continued her degree in Master of Philosophy in Development Science of also University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Her journey was in development, definitely. As an academician, was never away from development issues, especially sustainable development that tied to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And she was involved very much in teaching activities, research, community engagement, and outreach programs. As not to lengthen the time, Mrs. Gusniar, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Bagus, and also Hasnaya for the really cheerful greetings at the beginning of this event. So thank you very much for that. It gives another, atmosphere of positivity to me, and I believe to all of the participants in here. A very good morning, yang terhormat, Ibu Ina Nasution, as the co-founder of IAAS. Horas, Ibu, salam kenal dari saya. And also Bapak Wayan Tambun from FAO Indonesia. Selamat pagi, Pak. Salam kenal juga.
Pardon to cut off, Miss Gusniar. I think your microphone is off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you very much, Hasna. I think I have to repeat once again, yeah? Okay, yeah, I would like to thank the committee to invite us, SDG Academy Indonesia, to be part of, to be involved in this merciful morning, to share some knowledge in this keynote speech to the young generation of our nation on the Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you very much. Please allow me just to take 1 minute probably, to take this opportunity to share about my orange background in here in this Zoom. So it is actually related to the 16 days campaign of prevention gender-based violence, and the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is actually an international campaign, takes place every year. So it commenced from 25th November this year as International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women to 10 December 2020. That is why it's 16 days. So this year, the 2020 Unite campaign theme is Orange the World. So that is why the background is actually orange, which fund, respond, prevent, and collect. So UNDP is actually taking part of this campaign. So yeah, I think let's just begin my keynote speech. I think we can move to the next slide, please. Committee, please, next slide. Thank you very much. Okay, I will begin this keynote speech with a brief of explanation of Sustainable Development Goals, or known as SDGs, or in bahasa Indonesia kita sebut sebagai Tujuan Pembangunan Berkelanjutan atau TPB. As we all know, and I assume all of you in here already know the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which was agreed upon by 193 member of states of the United Nations, and includes 17 ambitious goals that need to be achieved from 2015 until 2030. So let's just see some statistics on the global progress of SDGs achievement shown in this slide, yeah, and which was recorded when you see the graph down there, two graphs there about the poverty and security, which was recorded before COVID-19 pandemic. And somehow before the pandemic, the world have been making some progress, definitely, so that accelerated actions were still needed in the most cases. Therefore, 2020 until 2030 marked as the decade of action to deliver the global goals. Actually, in September 2019, the United Nations Secretary General called on all sectors of our society to mobilize for a decade of action on 3 levels. So the first level is actually global action to secure greater leadership, more resources, and smarter solutions for the SDGs. The second level is local action, embedding the needed transition in the policies, budgets, institutions, and regulatory framework of government, cities, and local authorities. And the third or last level is actually people action, including by youth, civil society, the media, private sectors, unions, academia, and other stakeholders to generate an unstoppable movement pushing for required transformations. Okay, next slide, please. Now we are talking about how did actually the impact of COVID-19 towards the achievement of SDGs. So let's see in the global level first. So the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on all 17 SDGs has shown that what began as a health crisis has quickly become a human and socio-economic crisis as well. While the crisis is imperiling or jeopardize the progress towards the SDGs, it also makes the achievement all the more urgent and necessary, definitely. So let's look really quick on the most affected goals. Based on Sustainable Development Report 2020 SDG Index by United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network, or UNSDSN, that was released in June this year. So from all the 17 goals, 5 are in the status of highly negative impact, while 8 goals are in the status of mixed moderately negative impact, and 4 goals are in the status of still unclear impact. But somehow the report, like what I've mentioned just now, was released in June this year. And I believe that some of these statistics or findings already, shifting a bit, towards probably in the 4 goals that I've mentioned just now, the impact still unclear, and we already know that the impact that is really obvious to these goals. So political commitment and also concrete actions are crucial. Besides the importance of definitely innovation in providing data, real-time data, and big data will be really, really helpful. So next slide, please. These are still the impact that I've mentioned just now. And next one, please. Yeah, this is the last goal, and next one. All right, now let's look into this. Still, based on the Sustainable Development Report 2020, the SDG Index by UN SDSN, let's look at our performance to the achievement of SDGs. What do I mean by our is actually Indonesia. So in here, we can see, I put it on purpose to put 2019 achievement, also 2020 performance in here. So we make a bit of a progress from the rank of 102 in 2019 and become 101, yeah, a rank of 101 in 2020. When we look at the current assessment in 2020, you guys can see on top of the right color diagram there, we can see the current assessment based on its color. Goals 1, 5, 7, 8, 11, 14, and 16, orange color, yeah, for significant, sorry, I think I missed one. Sorry, yeah, let me just repeat once again. Goals 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 15, and 17, red colors, are the major challenges in Indonesia. So followed by goals 1, 5, 7, 8, 11, 14, and 16, yeah, orange color, for significant challenges we face. And goals 4, 12, 13, yellow colors, for the challenges remain. So let's look at the trends as well below the diagram that I've mentioned just now. So green colors goals, green color goals, yeah, which are the 1, 6 goals that are moderately improving. So orange color goals 5, 11, 14, 15, and 17 are the goals that still stagnant. So next slide, please. All right. So when we look into this, it is really essential, yeah. The recent gains are protected as much as possible. Apa yang sudah kita achieve, whatever that we already achieved, it is really important for us to protect, you know, improving, mempertahankan, or we can improve that. So a transformative recovery from COVID-19 should be pursued on that addresses the crisis, reduces the risk from future potential crisis, and relaunch the implementation efforts to deliver the 2030 agenda and SDGs during the decade of action. So here is the UNDP response to COVID-19. 3 main focuses are: first is actually health first. The second one is socioeconomic impact. The third one is actually data and innovation. So for example, UNDP in Indonesia level, yeah, UNDP Indonesia delivers 500,000 pieces of medical mask to help Indonesia fight COVID-19. And also UNDP together with WHO and IOM provide ventilators to support Indonesia's COVID-19 response. So the next one also is the result survey that we conducted, yeah, on impact of the COVID-19 to Indonesia youth entrepreneurs in 2020. And also the use of digital technology for cash for work in villages. So next slide, please. Here is the UNDP commitment in global level and Indonesia through various innovation. The first one is actually report. It's a Beyond Recovery Towards 2030 report. So it is designed to help decision makers make choices and manage complexity during uncertainty in 4 integrated areas. So these 4 integrated areas were identified and prioritized by UNDP by mapping immediate and emerging demands from our partners on the ground against the 7 tipping points that set a pathway beyond recovery towards 2030. And the 4 areas are governance, social protection, green economy, and digital disruption. So the second one is actually innovative financing lab. We usually say it as in abbreviation, which is IFL. So the IFL come up with some innovative financing, for example, Islamic finance, yeah, zakat, blended finance, green bond, and etc. So the third one is actually from our side, which is the SDG Academy Indonesia, which SDG Academy Indonesia as a learning platform and an innovative capacity building program aim to increase Indonesia's state and non-state actors capacities in localizing the SDGs. So you can also visit our website and social media page for more information, which our website is sdgacademyindonesia.id, and also several of our social media page, Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube is actually at sdgacademy.id. So next slide, please. Now, let's talk about sustainable agriculture a bit, which Pak Wayan just now share a lot of really, useful knowledge about the sustainable food system. Now, as I know the participants in here, when we are talking about sustainable agriculture, it is actually really close to the heart of most of you that tune in here, and how that actually we want to look at how actually the sustainable agriculture simply will not be possible without a strong sustainable agriculture connection to many of the 17 SDGs really quick. So there are 9 out of the 7 SDGs that having a significant relations to agriculture, which are Goal 1, poverty alleviation, Goal 4, education, Goal 5, gender equality, Goal 6, water use, Goal 7, energy use, Goal 8, economic growth and employment, Goal 12, sustainable consumption and production, Goal 13, climate change, and last but not least, Goal 15, ecosystem management. Thus, sustainable agriculture requires empowerment and engagement of all actors in the agricultural production and supply chain to enable change. Also, Ibu Ina mentioned in the beginning of her speech about this, that is actually partnership. All the involvement of stakeholders is really important, especially about sustainable development. Next slide, please. So now I would like to humbly share what we do, a small project in UNDP on empowering farmers project. UNDP is called as Empowered Farmers, together smallholder farmers, also local government, finance and local governments, financial technology or fintech, or social business, to play active roles in providing access to finance and unlocking access to markets in agriculture sector. In this case, Bapeda Provinsi Gorontalo actually led the platform. So the pilot implementation, the one that I've mentioned just now in Gorontalo as Empowered Farmer 1.0, was tested in the villages in Gorontalo district. It took full advantage of technology through the use of fintech, mobile application to raise funds for farmers. Now, the committee said that my time is finished, but give me just few minutes to finish it really quick. So within just 2 weeks, I'm still talking about this Empowered project. It raised $140,000 from investors across Indonesia through the mobile application. So the funds were channeled to support more or less 150 rural farmers who work on the 100 hectares corn field in 4 villages in Gorontalo district. So in mid of 2019, at the end of first planting season, Bapeda Provinsi conducted an economic survey to observe how Empowered Farmers 1.0, how this project have an increase in productivity, so which translated into more money that they could use to afford education to their kids and better healthcare. So in addition to Bapeda Provinsi survey, UNDP also conducted an assessment that focused on learning and recommendation for future plans. That recommendation suggested that the program has scaling up potential, in which it should increase the number of smallholders, farmers, expand, strengthen capacity building, and involve more partners to accelerate the elimination of poverty and SDGs in 2030. So the involvement of all stakeholders, once again, I would like to re-emphasize, really important in the implementation of sustainable agriculture. I would be really quick in this slide. I would love to share some more information, but I think my time is finishing here. So really quick takeaway point from the previous slide is the involvement of all levels of the society is really important. And I believe that all of you mostly are youth. So tetap semangat, find another solution, find another, innovative solution, be creative. Even during this pandemic, don't make this pandemic as couldn't think something that is innovative and creative, because I believe that the involvement of youth is really important, especially in SDGs achievement. So therefore, I would like to thank once again, and that is all from my side. I hope the knowledge that I'm sharing here will be useful and benefit to all of you in here. And once again, selamat pagi, jaga kesehatan, dan tetap semangat. Thank you. Back to you, Hasna and Bagus.
Okay, thank you very much for Mrs. Kusnia for the presentation.
Once again, thank you very much for the informative and knowledgeable presentation. Now, we would like to let our National Director, Ms. Gita, to give out a token of appreciation to the both keynote speakers today. The floor is yours, Ms. Gita.
Good morning, Pak Wayan and Bu Gusnia.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure for me personally to greet you both in person and in this online platform. Yes, and
thank you, Gita. Thank you.
Yes, Bu Gusnia. And I think everyone in here is agree that we still have homework, not just for the government itself, but to youth people as well, as we part of the smart citizen. And you both mentioned in your speech earlier that that it is our duty to ensure and protect the food supply, and the acknowledgement from Bu Gusniar about shocking facts indeed, that how countries responded to pandemic before and after to SDGs progress. And so wonderful to have you both to giving speech in here. And now I am Brigita on behalf of IAAS Indonesia. We would like to thank you both and giving this appreciation. Yes, for Pak Wayan. Thank you, Pak Wayan and Bu Gusnia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful that both of you have present in here, and all of us here, youth people. Hello, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. Thank you. Back to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Gita. Once again, before we go to the partnership awarding, we would like to thank Macamu, East Bali Cashew, and Agrodaya for sponsoring this event.
All right, next up, we will have the partnership awarding session, which will be directed by our National Director, Ms. Gita, and also Vice Director of Partnership, Mr. Kana. So for Ms. Gita and Mr. Kana, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Hasna.
Thank you, Hasna and Bagus.
Okay, then I believe each of you is enjoy our speakers today. It's just from the speech, but I guess every one of us is couldn't agree more that it's already inspiring and knowledgeable. But then again, we still have an exciting session. It's obvious from our screen right now. And I'm Brigita, National Director of IAAS Indonesia, and my colleagues here.
And I'm Kana, as a Vice Director of Partnership IAAS Indonesia. As we know, as in this year has been difficult for all sector and all parties, including student organization like IAAS Indonesia. And we have to pivot our strategy with another national committee to renew our work plan and also adapting to the situation.
Entering the new normal, we realized collaboration is the key to adjusting. And throughout this year, we've made numerous of it. Each of our departments successfully develops their collaboration programs with various partners. We can't thank enough all of you who have been so loyal, supportive, and dream big together with IAAS Indonesia. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud to present you our national and local partners of IAAS Indonesia for 2020.
Okay, so I will introduce some of partner that collaborate. So the first we have Caliber from IAAS Indonesia. Proudly participated in Happiness Festival 2020, and we are having collaborate with Happiness Festival and also G-Food to conduct the webinar festival about small act to reduce food waste. So the event was successful with more than 80 participants. Through this event, we strive to promote food waste and also our campaign, #SnapFood. On behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to say thank you again for your contribution to support IAAS Indonesia. So we wish you a sustainable and greater festival next year. Next.
Sorry, okay. And next, this year, IAAS Indonesia has launched the #SnapFood campaign. We are collaborating with campaign.com #4change to spread the #SnapFood campaign on their platform. Recently, there are more than 200 participants on the campaign application who support SnapFood. And yes, the number keeps rising from day to day until now. And you could still join this campaign because every post of yours will be donating 5,000 rupiahs to the empowerment of our village concept project. We hope people's about ways could be higher than before. And on behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to thank you for your action to support IAAS movement on April SnapFood Ramadan to support the sustainable kids to support zero waste in Indonesia. IAAS Indonesia and Rebranding Plastic have the same mission to produce zero waste, whether it's plastic or food. On behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to say thank you for your contribution to support IAAS Indonesia. We are more than happy to have you with the same mission here.
Yeah, next. Okay, so during the COVID-19 situation, we realized there are elderly that need special care to survive their life during the pandemic. IAAS Indonesia collaborate with Student Catalyst and also ISEC Indonesia for making a campaign donation. By the end of April 2020, we received about 66 million rupiah to the donation. And the donation was spread on the nursing home in Jabodetabek area to support the elderly daily needs. And on behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to say thank you for Student Catalyst and also ISEC Indonesia for your collaboration to support IAAS Indonesia. And then we hope we can continue the sustainable partnership in the next year. Thank you. Next. Okay, so this year we're also joining the collaboration program with Peduli Pangan Desa Kota organization. So the objective is for the community who need help amid the COVID-19 outbreak and could have access to nutritious food from donor and also sorry. Thank you. And then IAAS Indonesia is participating in spreading information about the program, and we also including the SnapFood campaign. And you can only take an action on the campaign by using a #SnapFood on the campaign application. So each hashtag will be converted to the 20,000 rupiah. And then I would like to say on behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to say thank you for your contribution to support IAAS Indonesia. So next, maybe we can play the video of the collaboration. Maybe we have 1 until 2 minutes for see the video.
Gerakan Peduli Pangan Desa Kota
Maybe we
adalah
can full stream
kerjasama
the
antara
video.
sejumlah organisasi dan individu
Please the
saling membantu
okay,
di
thank you.
tengah pandemi COVID-19. Dari banyaknya dampak buruk dari pandemi ini, krisis pasokan makanan adalah salah satunya. Gerakan ini adalah upaya agar masyarakat Indonesia yang membutuhkan bantuan bisa mendapatkan pasokan makanan dari para donatur dan relawan yang mengolah suplai bahan pangan dari desa dengan kualitas dan harga yang terbaik. Sampai saat ini, Peduli Pangan Desa Kota telah mendistribusikan pangan kepada kurang lebih 8.000 penerima manfaat dari 4 dapur yang berbeda di Jakarta. Harapan adalah untuk membantu lebih banyak orang melalui gerakan ini di Indonesia. Upaya ini tentu tidak akan berhasil tanpa semangat gotong royong yang kuat dan determinasi semua orang yang terlibat. Untuk itu, kami mengucapkan terima kasih terhadap semua donatur, relawan, dan organisasi yang tergabung di gerakan ini. Tidak semua orang bisa turun ke lapangan, namun banyak yang bisa kalian lakukan untuk mendukung gerakan Peduli Pangan Desa Kota. Salah satunya adalah dengan mengikuti program edukasi publik di aplikasi Campaign for Change. Program edukasi publik ini tidak akan hadir tanpa dukungan dari United Way, organisasi amal terbesar di Amerika Serikat yang bekerja sama dengan 3M, Community Chest of Korea, dan William and Lily Foundation. Kami telah bekerja sama dengan 4 komunitas sosial, Tani Panen, Food Sustaination, Buang di Sini, dan International Association of Students in Agricultural and Related Science Indonesia, untuk meningkatkan kesadaran masyarakat atas krisis pasokan makanan. Program ini terdiri dari tantangan-tantangan yang masyarakat bisa ikuti. Setiap orang yang menyelesaikan program Peduli Pangan di Campaign for Change akan berkontribusi terhadap komunitas-komunitas yang nantinya akan mendapatkan donasi untuk menyebarkan edukasi tentang pangan lebih luas lagi. Tunjukkan dukunganmu untuk gerakan Peduli Pangan Desa Kota sekarang dan download aplikasi Campaign for Change.
Okay, thank you. Next. So yeah, the sneak peek about our collaboration with Peduli Pangan Desa and Kota. Next. Next slide, please.
Okay, and next in September 2020, we invite WWF for making the collaboration event about the role of food sustainability in supporting SDGs. This event was successful with more than 2,250 participants. The goal is to raise people's awareness about the importance of ensuring sustainable food. On behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to say thank you for your contribution to support IAAS Indonesia. It could never be more flattered to work with you. Thank you, WWF. And next, we also have a collaboration with Kamu Harus Tahu. We collaborate for making animation video about food waste, kisah makanan yang terbuang. All of you can still support it by checking it on YouTube and share the video with all of your friends. This collaboration is made to celebrate World Food Day 2020. And don't forget to check the video. On behalf of IAAS Indonesia, we want to thank you, Kamu Harus Tahu. And yes, sneak peek.
Pura-pura mau ngabisin makanan karena malu takut dicap kelaparan. Atau biasanya pas lagi makan martabak rame-rame, bakal ada satu potong martabak yang tersisa. Dan semua orang gak mau makan potongan terakhir itu karena gengsi dan akhirnya dibuang. Padahal, untuk bisa menjadi sepotong martabak, prosesnya panjang banget. Data mencatat bahwa selama ini ada sekitar 1,3 miliar ton makanan yang terbuang percuma. Faktanya, lebih banyak orang meninggal karena kelaparan dibandingkan karena penyakit AIDS, malaria, dan TBC. Indonesia menjadi penyumbang sampah makanan terbesar kedua di dunia. Yang mana pada kenyataannya, masih banyak orang yang berada di bawah garis kemiskinan yang harus bersusah payah untuk mendapatkan makanan sehari-hari. Pemborosan makanan bukan hanya berdampak bagi manusia itu sendiri, tetapi lingkungan pun ikut kena batunya. Tiap orang di dunia rata-rata membuang 28 kg. Kita ngebuang 1000 liter air dari membuang 1 gelas susu. Jadi buat kalian yang masih suka buang-buang makanan, ingat, petani gak ngeluarin atraksi sulap untuk bikin beras dan sayuran dalam satu malam. Butuh proses berbulan-bulan untuk produksinya. Lalu apa yang mesti kita lakukan? Simple banget, cukup habiskan makanan yang ada di depanmu, kurangi membeli makanan yang berpotensi gak kemakan dan dibuang. Juga, jangan lupa beli hasil bumi petani lokal. Karena rumput tetangga yang lebih hijau belum tentu lebih baik. Cukup sekian dan sampai jumpa.
Yes, that's a sneak peek about our collaboration with Kamu Harus Tahu. And next, you guys still watch the video anyway from YouTube channel. Okay, and next we have Agriforia. The last one is Agriforia. Agriforia is a collaboration made by our Vice Director of Partnership in IAAS and Vice Director of Project and Sciences, combining youth agriculture and IAAS Summit. We made Agriforia as a series of events consist of youth agriculture, national workshop, infographic competition, local lure, and will be closed by IAAS Summit today. This year's theme brought by our concern for SDGs number 2, Zero Hunger, number 8, decent work and economic growth, and number 12, responsible consumption and economic growth. Last week, our national workshop is won by organic fertilizer from LC UGM in third place, and VCO from LC UNED in the second place, and Chitrong from LC UNPAD in the first place. The national workshop itself is a collaboration of IAAS Indonesia with Plus, Platform Usaha Sosial, and Kanihab to have a brainstorming about VBSC, Value-Based Supply Chain, and SBMC, Social Business Model Canvas for VCP product. The workshop is attended by our VCP team from every LC for 50 participants with 3 speakers. And for youth agriculture, this year we successfully engaged 2,284 participants from all over Indonesia, from high school students to general, with 84 media partners, inviting 22 speakers in 10 big cities. And for today, we have registered 650 participants for Summit. And last, we would like to thank you for all of our sponsors who generously support Agriforia for 2 Marubali coconut chips, Macamu, Agradaya, Balikachu, and Krakatoa.
Next.
And yes, of course, none of above and what we will present after this will be happening without our partners from local committee. Yes, Kana.
Okay, so we are proud to present you IAAS Indonesia in 2020. We have 11 local committee located in 10 big city with 100 112 1,213 members, and we have some LC like Lambung Mangkurat in Kalimantan Island, and here you can see the number of the partner in local committee. Please, Gita.
Yes, for our local partners, IAS LC IPB with 50 partners, IAS LC UNS with 13 partners, IAS LC UNPAD with 32 partners, IAS LC UNIP with 21 partners. Next.
And also IAS LC UGM with 54 partner, IAS LC UB 32 partner, IAS LC UMY 17 partner, and also IAS LC UNH 21 partner.
IAS LC ULM with 26 partners, IAS LC UNUT with 17 partners, and IAS LC URAM with 13 partners.
So this year could never be so great with all of this achievement without all of our partner from LC to the national level. You can see on the screen is the sum of logo in IAS Indonesia partner and also IAS LC partner. We have more than 130 partner spread in local committee in IAS Indonesia, and we have 9 collaboration in IAS Indonesia.
Yes, without all of you, we could never cross this path. Having missions together to raise our society awareness, to empower the rural communities, become a reminder for ourselves. Those people are capable for great things. Started with great minds, great community, and great environment to grow.
Okay, once again, on behalf of IAAS Indonesia, I would like to say thank you for your support and contribution. This community and organization is growing in the right hands of yours. We hope IAAS Indonesia can do sustainable partnership in the next year. Thank you for all the partner.
Thank you, all of you.
The time is go to back in Bagus and Hasna. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kana, Mr. Kana, and Ms. Gita for the partnership providing session. So once again, we will thank all of the partners that have been working with IAAS Indonesia this year, and we hope that we can continue to support each other in the coming years.
All right, everyone. I guess it's time for us to warm up with something fun.
Yes, so as to enlighten us again today, we will have some game to play, and our committee member will send a quiz link in the chat box, and we will give you 3 minutes to get in the link and then play the game.
Yes.
Guys, our crew already sent it in the chat box, so please join the link.
Make sure to join, as there will be attractive prizes to be won, where each winner will get none other than a bundle set from our sponsors. So definitely, everyone, please get ready and join the link.
Okay, the participants are getting into the link. It's 55 right now. Let's get in the link, guys, because we have many prizes for you to win.
Yes. And also, in the meantime, I would like to greet our friend Lawal Yusuf from Nigeria and also Mehdi Hassan from Bangladesh. We are really happy to have you here. I hope you guys have a great day ahead.
There is a comment from the participants. I think the crew, can you please check on it?
Yes, I guess apparently for the quiz is limited to 25 people. So I guess it's like first come, first serve. Yeah. For these 25 people that are lucky to get into the link, please do answer this question.
Main topic of today. Sure.
If everyone's been listening attentively, I'm sure that this question will be very easy to answer as this is mainly about our event today. Remember, there will be attractive prizes to be won by the winners, which is from our sponsors. It's gonna be a
One of the leading agricultural local commodity in Indonesia that is famous for distinct aroma. This is pretty easy. Okay, so basic question.
I'm sure I will be telling you a little bit about our sponsors, which is the one that you're gonna get for the winner of this quiz, which is from Masyamu, is Bali Cashew, Agradaya, Merubali Coconut Chips, and Krakatau. And all of these are very light snack, and they are all locally made, so it's 100% Indonesian. Yeah.
For opening speech. Okay, some correct answers I see. The organization of Mr. Wayan Tambun. picture puzzle. That's too bad. No correct answer. Just say yes or no. That's a logic answer, I guess. One word for Iaas Summit. Okay, we see some answers.
Cool, great, nice, thank you.
Amazing. Noise.
Merry
Okay, I think that's the end. Yeah, I think this is the last question for today's quiz. Thank you very much for the participants of this quiz. For the one that didn't get a chance, do not worry, guys. There will always be opportunity ahead, okay? So next up, we will have a VCP documentary video to be presented to you.
But before we get into it, let me describe a little bit about VCP program. Village Concept Program is one of IAAS programs where the member empower one village in their local community to bring them to prosper.
Let us watch the activity that we've done this year in Village Concept Program. Okay, that was all for the documentary of our Village Concept Program. So if you guys want to check out more, you can definitely check out on our social media for more details.
We would also like to mention the VCP programs from each IAAS local committee. We'll start from the west side of Indonesia. We have from Institut Pertanian Bogor, which is Desa Jabal Rahmah, with Tenjo, which is Jamu Beras Kencur, or also known as Indonesian herbal drink, and from Universitas Pajajaran, which is from Desa Genteng dan Desa Cinanjung. We have Citrong, cheese stick terong, cheese stick eggplant, and also artisan tea from Rosella plant.
Okay, in the center we have Undip, Universitas Diponegoro in Desa Gemawang with the product of Chocopet. It's like a ginger chocolate. And then Universitas 11 Maret, UNS in Solo with Desa Kemuning, and the product is Kembang Buah. And also Universitas Gajah Mada in Desa Kulwaru with the organic fertilizer product. And also Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta in Desa Ketundan.
Next, we have from the east side of Indonesia, from Universitas Brawijaya in Desa Taji, we have Cogan, cookies ganyong. And then from Universitas Jember in Desa Sumber Kapem, we have kopi kapulaga dan teh kapulaga. From Universitas Lambung Mangkurat in Desa Ulin, and then Universitas Mataram, Desa Bangkaung, with its gula smooth, Kana Lombok coffee, and honey. And then lastly, from Universitas Udayana in Desa Pangsan, we have VCO.
Okay, so after this, we will have our talk show with the moderator, as you can see, Irfan Herfiansyah. But beforehand, don't forget, if you guys want to drink first or grab a snack, you can, as to accompany you on enjoying our talk show. So here I got some cashew, I think, okay, cashew from Iswali Cashew, and also drink from Macamu to accompany me. And Hasna, what do you have?
Well, right now I'm having my blue tea from Agradaya. This one. And I'm also having my, yes. So, everyone, you can
Where
go
is
grab some
the product?
refreshment.
The name of the product.
All right, so everyone, you can grab some of your refreshment if you would like to, as we dive into our talk show today. We will introduce our moderator for today's talk show, which is none other than Kak Irfan Herfiansyah.
Thank you. Your permission.
Okay, so Kak Irfan here, our moderator today, graduated from agribusiness major from IPB University, and from 2015 to 16 is the national director of IAAS Indonesia, and in 2016 to 2017 is the co-founder of Wheel of Bogor, and also top 10 graduate of YLI National 8. In 2018-2019, Communication Officer Syngenta Indonesia, and 2019 until present, currently working as a chicken farmer. So hello Kak Irfan, how are you today?
Hi Bagus. Hi Hasna.
Okay, I hope you are good today.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so as to not lengthen the time more, please welcome Kak Irfan Herfiansyah as our moderator.
Okay, so hi everyone. It's been 2 years from the last time I joined IAAS Summit. It feels really good to be back here. This is my third IAAS Summit actually, and every year the committee always gives the best effort and always gave the thought-provoking theme regarding agriculture, including this year. Well, a lot of things have changed this year. We are having economic crisis at the moment. political and social instability across the globe. And one thing that I don't have to explain furthermore is COVID-19 pandemic. That being said, today we will discover fascinating topic. Wait, somebody asked me to join the waiting room. No, okay. Okay, today we will discover fascinating topic on how agriculture businesses thrive during trying time and how they stay sustainable and keep contributing to community. We will have two amazing speakers that will be sharing the stage with us today. Next slide, please. Yeah, the first one is Ibu Helianti Hilman. She is the founder and chief creative and community officer of PT Kampung Kearifan Indonesia, or popular EY's EY Indonesia's Entrepreneur of the Year. After that, she has been consistently honored on every single year until 2019, including 4 consecutive years from Primaniarta, elected as Indonesia's top 20 global rising star, as the awardee of Social Entrepreneur of the Year 2015 from Swap Foundation, awarded from Swap Magazine, started Fruit Artisan School in the same year, and recently awarded as Globe Asia's Most Inspiring Woman in 2019. Good morning, Ibu Helianti. How are you today?
Myself. Okay. Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm grateful. Are you at home right now?
Yes, I'm at home.
Yes, aren't we all at home? So, Ibu, before we start this talk show, the committee will throw some quizzes to the audience.
Sure.
Can we have the poll? Yep. So please please choose one of the question from the poll given. We will wait until maybe 50% of the audience join the poll. I think many of our audiences have already know about what is socialpreneur, and they agree that socialpreneur is a good thing for a community. Yeah, I think we can close the poll now. Yes, as you can see, a lot of audiences already know about socialpreneur, and we all agree that socialpreneur is actually a good thing for our community. Bu Heli, why don't you tell us more about what are you doing right now and what is Javara actually?
Well, Javara is basically we're a company that works to bring back forgotten food biodiversity to the market. So the more it's got forgotten, the more we try to making it hip and sexy. So the reason why we think that food biodiversity is very important is not only for the sake of being romantic, because some people thought when I started, I was just being romantic of bringing back forgotten food. But basically, it makes sense for the farmers because local endemic food biodiversity has more resilience, more adaptive, and more sustainable, actually. And for the consumers itself, actually, every single global diet's challenges right now, the answer you can find in our heritage of food biodiversity. So what we're trying to do since 2008 is to make it available to the market, because if we only talk about it and not making it available, then basically we're just talking. So it's very important to use the market pull approach to let the consumer participate in the preservation of our food biodiversity heritage by consuming them. So we started with only 8 products, 10 farmers in the beginning in 2008. Now we have grown about 10 of thousands of farmers, 700 products, 300 is already certified organic for US, Europe, and Japan, and we have exported to 26 countries. I think what's interesting is not about the export. There are many people are doing exports, but I think what's interesting is because we started to create the trend that products from remote and rural Indonesia is actually can compete at the global stage and have a branding um, as an icon of the pride of Indonesia. So basically, that's what we're doing. Basically, bringing back forgotten food to the market.
That's really interesting because I noticed your profile earlier that you were graduated from Pajajaran University majoring international relation and also from King's College London majoring intellectual property laws, right?
Yes.
So the question
I was
is,
a lawyer before.
wow, so that's getting more interesting. So from lawyer jumping to agricultural sector, why did you start that? What's your motivation to jumping from being a lawyer and then from, let's say, farmers right now?
Well, I'm always a foodist. That's definite. I love to cook. I love nature because I grew up in the. I don't know if you heard about Ijen, Gunung Ijen.
I know Ijen,
Yeah,
Banyuwangi,
that's
right?
where I grew up. So basically, I was like a forest kid. I always my parents always grow our own food. Um, and yes, I grew up and then I ended up being a lawyer. But my heart for my love for the nature, for the agriculture, for the cooking, and of course being a foodie and I love to travel, actually that leads to this. But the first interaction that I had actually with the network of indigenous farmers is based on two occasions. One is I was invited by the network of indigenous farmers who has been keeping alive Indonesia's food biodiversity, and their inquiry was how to bring this forward to the next generation, because with their children doesn't want to become farmers. All of them that I interact in the beginning are above 55 years old. Most of them are 60. And they are so worried that the God-given subsidy in the form of food biodiversity in Indonesia will be forgotten, extinct, and lost. So I was invited basically because a good friend of mine is part of that network, and they know that I'm always excited to solve problems, basically. So they thought like, probably I could come and just discuss with them and whether I have ideas what to do. But the second interaction is basically I was giving pro bono legal advices to farmers that were criminalized by companies and export companies. And that's how my husband and I decided to do a roadshow for 3.5 months to visit the network of the farmers and to understand more their aspiration. And basically, we were invited, not that we are inviting ourselves. So it's an interesting process because we stayed with them at their house. We go to the farms. We cook with them. We have a lot of intense discussion. So throughout these 3.5 months, we traveled probably around to visit about 50, 60 old farmers, indigenous farmers. So that's how I got started. And then one farmer was challenging me. He said, like, look, I'm old already. You don't need to worry about me, but I'm giving you a mandate how to bring this forgotten food forward for the next generation. So I told him the only way to do it is to bring it to the market. That's the only way we can survive. So that's how.
What was the food? What was the food that he said?
The first product we launched was basically an heirloom a collection of rice heritage. So at that time, I learned from them that Indonesia used to have 7,000 different rice varieties, which grows in different ecological conditions. Either, of course, the normal one in sawah, in wet land, but apparently we also blessed with rice that can grow in the coastal area, on the river, on the lake, even the shade-grown rice. So there are so many variety, not to mention different color, different nutrition, different texture, different flavor. So I was overwhelmed even by the rice alone. So we decided the first product we launched was a collection of 8 different heirloom rice, including the one with the pink color and the purple color. And we make it as a hamper in a basket and
Yep.
turning it into a cultural product. So we're not selling rice as a staple food, but we are selling rice as a cultural product. And we eventually managed to export that to Italy since 2012. So that's where the story begins, and then from there we grew to all of a sudden 700 products over the period of 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. Now that your journey has grown really big, how do you define community empowerment right now?
Actually, that's a bit misleading, yeah, that words, because I have to say I'm the one that is empowered by them. So I
Okay.
was the one that has been enlightened and open up my vision. The problem that we have is a lot of people who are doing community empowerment, they think that they already powerful, they know much better, and then they come and try to push in their knowledge, their skill, what they think best. But we're
Yeah.
missing out the importance of listening, because we thought I think a lot of us missing out the fact that actually the indigenous community, indigenous farmers is actually genius. They have amazing talents. The problem is that, as in any talents, even the artists in the performance show, they have managers, right? But
Right.
our artists, farmers, they don't have managers. They don't have someone that shape and present them in a such marketable manners. So that's why our approach is actually we're acting more as an artist manager. So we are the
Okay.
manager, they are the artists, and we started by listening and looking into their talents. What are their indigenous knowledge? What are their indigenous wisdom? And how that relates and being relevant with the current market. So that's
Okay.
how we starting point. So um, whatever we provide for them is basically based on that premise that they already have something amazing, and then the intervention is decided and designed around it.
Okay. Okay. So with that mindset, uh, I think there must be some kind of you have crossing the path that you have to educate the farmers, or is it the other way around?
They
How
educate
do you
us
educate the farmer?
actually. Yeah,
Okay.
they educate us. Yes, I see it more that we have a more complementing skill set. They have their own skill set and talents, and we have our own skill set and talents. So by combining the two, we allow these forgotten products to reach the market. So basically, it's not about educating, it's about collaborations and partnership and complementing.
Hmm. Well, today we are talking about how we can balance between business values and also social values that, which reflected so much in your company in Javara. How do you balance that? How do you balance between the business profit making values and also social values?
Okay, we have to understand that actually the balance comes down from the mission itself. You can design the business approach, the methods, and everything, but basically going back to the mission, because our mission is about bringing back forgotten food, and the only way we do that is by serving the market. So basically, by focusing on the market-driven approach, that itself is actually already filled in fill in the issue of the economic aspect, right?
Yep,
Um,
right.
but the fact that the products that you are delivering to the market is this heritage food biodiversity, that's where our mission is. So basically, we don't see it as a two different thing. We see it
Okay.
it's just like a coin. It has two sides. It goes together. So we don't put that as a contradictory thing.
Hmm. Okay. Let's address elephant in the room. Okay. So, in what way the COVID pandemic affects Javara, and how do you thrive from
Actually,
it?
it's affecting positively, I have to say, because we're a food company.
Wow.
And even during the pandemic, everybody still need to eat. And I think the understanding of having a healthier diet is becoming more and more important, because by having a healthier diet, it means you have a better immunity system, you have a better health, and you have a better chances to from protect yourself from you know um, any diseases. So I think I don't see there is much of problem of COVID. Actually, it's benefiting not only for us. I think any food industry, any food companies, I don't think they see downfall. Different probably with the food services, yeah.
Yeah.
With the food services, they're affected. So I think the key to it is it's very important for us to do a digital transformation. Apparently, in our
Yep.
case, uh, uh, we have been focusing on digital transformation since the last 2 years. So COVID is basically giving us sort of like a speed to it.
Yep.
We're speeding up our process, and that helps.
Okay. So, so there is no, new changes that happening in Java right now after the pandemic
Of course,
situation.
there are a lot of changes. First is basically related with the product innovation,
Okay.
because actually, as per now, in front of me, I have my team working on ready to cook packages,
On
because a lot of
Saturday?
yes, on Saturdays. It's fun. Of course, you get to
Okay.
cook, you get to eat. So there is nothing bad about it. So,
Yeah.
so of course, innovations. Definitely, you have to adapt your products or your services to be more responsive towards the needs of the consumers. Actually, out of the 700 products, it's easy for us to assemble, ready to cook or ready to eat or things like that. But we need to adapt it. And then second is that we have more team working that we recruited working on the digital marketing
Yeah.
and the data management, because that becoming more important. And then the third is that it's very important to have to revisit the go-to-market strategy, because in the past
Oh.
we've been focusing more on the B2B side. I think about 85% of our sales comes from the B2B, and only 15% comes from the B2C. That's for domestic, yeah. I'm not mentioning about the export. So we have to shift that. We have to gradually shift that. We have to connect more directly to the end consumers, because that allows us to be more adaptive and more responsive.
Yeah. Let's talk about the community even more, right? What do you think is the most important values to be, for us to be able to cooperate with community in general?
Honesty, being
Uh,
genuine. We have to maintain the integrity of building the trust. Being honest, transparent, genuine is basically the fundamental for you to have the trust. And if you have the trust, then it's much easier for you to build the relationship, as in any type of relationship, basically.
okay. Do we still have time, the community? Yeah, I think we have still time. Okay, this is a personal question from me, Ibu. I was great. Gave me a really, a huge burden, and also give me the sense of huge responsibility on being to contribute to the society in terms of agricultural sector.
You should.
Uh,
You should. I'm giving you more burden to that. Yeah.
my question is, from your case, do you feel that having a totally different background from your job field at the moment gave you the freedom and the freedom to choose whatever you are and whatever you want to do, including jumping to the agricultural sector?
Well, actually, the benefit of you not knowing anything, not knowing nothing about it, it seems like you're more like an empty glass. And where you're an empty glass, you tend to be more, what do you call it, more eager to learn. Yeah, you are more eager and passionate to learn because you know that you know nothing about it. Because I'm not an agronomist, I'm not a food technologist. All I know is that I love to cook and I love to eat. So that's the only thing I know. But to make things work as a business, it requires a complementing expertise. And such complementing expertise, it means we also need someone that have the agriculture background or the food technology background, the digital marketing background, because when you talk as a business, you don't talk it in a sector base. It's basically is a holistic approach, is you come in a package. So the more complementary you have in your team is actually the better.
Okay, thank you, Bu Heli. What an amazing talk show with you. I think I will get back to you at the Q&A session.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so after we have the discussion with Ibu Heli, now we will jump to the next speakers of this session. I will introduce you to Pak Deeng Sanyoto, the head of Tani Hub Academy. Pak Deeng has 20 years of exposure in marketing, agency, and account managing field after working in various companies such as BBDO Indonesia, PT Densusstrat, PT Gudang Garam, and PT Flux Communication. Pak Deeng has joined Tani Hub since 2018 as VP Marketing, Head of Partnership and Social Impact, and now he is responsible as the head of Tani Hub Academy. Good morning, Pak Deeng. How are you?
Good morning, Mas. Irfan. Nice to meet you today.
Are you at home right now, Pak Deeng?
Excuse me?
Are you at home right now?
Oh yes. It's Saturday. Well, actually, we also implement work from home, so we need to stay at home because everything can be handled through.
Well, sometimes it's nicer to work from home, you know.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, Pak Deeng. Would you like please tell us more about what is Tani Hub and what Tani Hub aspire to do in the future?
Okay, thank you. First, I would like to thank you for everyone here. It's been an honor for us, for Tani Hub can share what is Tani Hub is all about. And also, I'm so excited. I'm among the young people here because, you know, daily basis, I met with farmers, governments, mostly old people. Now I'm so glad here I can join with you guys, the young people. Okay, maybe I will share to you what Tani Hub is all about. Well, actually, we are founded in 2016. It's like 4 years ago. Like many startups, we are built through problem and solutions. So every day in Tani Hub, we find what is the problem in agriculture in Indonesia. So we start with finding the new problem that farmers has difficulties for access to market. And then we create Tani Hub as a platform. And then 1 year later, we have announced for another problem that farmers has difficulties for access to financial. And then we create a Tani Fund, a peer-to-peer lending. And last year, we created a new company we call Tani Supply, which is we found the problem that there is a big food loss and waste from the first mile to the last mile. So we create a company who who manage the logistic and supply chains management. So those three companies are the companies under TaniHub Group. And then what is TaniHub? TaniHub is the company who create a better ecosystem in Indonesia through technology. That's us.
Okay. So my first question is that, do you think TaniHub wants to be a super app like Gojek or Grab, but in agricultural sector?
Well, I want to share with you that our dreams is not tangible. In TaniHub, we always saying we are not selling product. We are delivering hope. Hope for Indonesian agriculture to be better. So is it become a super or not? It doesn't matter for us. As long as the agriculture ecosystem is getting better and better. I think that's the idea. We never put numbers. We never put a certain position or anything for us. As long as the agriculture ecosystem is better. We never see other platform with the same like us as a competitor. Because if your spirit is competing, and then every day what's in your mind is how to take down the competitors. Our spirit is collaborations. If the spirit of collaborations and then growth is the main goal.
Okay, what a
noble. How to answer your question?
Yeah, that's really noble actually. So before I talk with you even more, I would like to remind the audiences, if you want to ask to the speaker, you can drop the chat in the column in the chat section, or you can raise hand after after I announce the Q&A session later on. Okay. So Pak Deeng,
yes.
You mentioned that you want to achieve this together, right? You want to achieve this sustainability of agriculture together.
Yeah.
What do you think is sustainability itself?
Okay, sustainability. Sustainability. Some people ask me, okay, Deeng, if I want to join you to help the sustainability, what kind of skill do I should have? What kind of education? What of hobby? What kind of the background, education or behavioral that I have to support as a sustainability? I told them, sustainability is not a rank. Sustainability is not education. Sustainability is an attitude.
Okay.
Whoever you are, if you have the attitude of sustainability, and then you can be part of the ecosystem. I think that's the main part. Actually, the important thing is that.
Okay, so let's talk about how TaniHub operates. What is the strategy that TaniHub doing at the moment to make the supply and distribution chains more effective, and that farmers can get more maximum result?
Okay, supply and chains. I told you before that we have a company called Tani Supply.
Yeah.
40% of food and loss, I told you also before, in Indonesia is come from the supply. So how farmers do packaging, processing, and picking is not proper. So let's say 1 ton of the harvest, 400 kilos is lost because lack of proper logistic supply and chains. You know that foods and fruits are perishable goods. They will easily breakage. So if you don't do proper distribution, and then you got a problem. In Tani Supply, from the first mile, we have a distribution fleet reusing the cold chains. And then we have the warehouse, it fully cold chains. And then we deliver it to the consumer in proper. So the freshness and the quality of the product is being maintained. This is the big problem that happens in agriculture in Indonesia. Most farmers then do a proper supply chains and then don't do a proper logistic distribution.
Yeah. Well, building that cold storage must be a huge investment for TaniHub and TaniHub as a group, right?
Yes.
So, well, but how do you maintain to make your to offer the competitive price in your e-commerce?
Okay, before I answer that question, let me give a story about Tani Hub. First time when we founded, our platform is marketplace. It's like Tokopedia and others. So anyone who want to buy the product, and the farmer will deliver it himself to the consumers. And then the problem happens. You know why? Because, okay, let Irfan, if you buy mangoes from farmers A, and then next week you buy it from farmers B, and the quality of the product is different because it's different on the soil, it's different on the plantation, on those other things. That's why we change into e-commerce, and we have to build a warehouse. It's not it's a very expensive investment, but we have to do that. We have 5 warehouses in Jakarta, in Bogor, Bandung, Surabaya, Jogja, Bali, and inshallah in next year we're gonna have in Makassar as well, because that's the only way to keep the product fresh from the first mile to the last mile. Okay, that's why we always keep why we have a warehouse, and our investor knew very well that we have to build that.
Yeah, I mean, with investing so much in a warehouse and all that facilities, how do you keep the price so low compared to the other competitors?
Okay, sorry, I forgot about the price. We never say we are the cheapest.
Okay.
We never also say we are competitive. No, we keep saying we have fair price. What does it mean, fair price? Fair to the farmers and fair to the consumers. And that's the fair price. You know why? By using that, we are trying to educating two stakeholders. First, the farmers. If you want your product to be better, or you want your product to be sell, you need to increase your quality. And also the consumers, if you want to be healthy, you have to buy a good product. I want to give you an example. You know, Morning Glory, kangkung.
Yeah,
it's kangkung.
Yeah.
One of my friends told me, Deeng, I bought kangkung in pasar, in traditional market. It's only 1,500. I bought in Tani Hub, it's 2,000. Why you are so expensive? And then I told him, did you know that kangkung can be planted in the ditch? Comberan, it can be. But in Tani Hub, we have ISO, food safety, so every product that we sell is traceable. We can trace back who is the farmer, what kind of the pesticide, what are for the fertilizer, and also the seed. So everything is being monitored. So that's why we educate both sides, the consumers and also the farmers. And that's society.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that one of the effort that Tiny Hub together with young generation, millennials or young generation should contribute in terms of,
for agriculture for everyone. Because we believe agriculture is only improved if everybody plays important role in the ecosystem. All the stakeholders, university, government ecosystem. And I believe that young people, there are 66 million millennials in Indonesia. It means 66 million ideas, 66 million spirits, 66 million passion to help Indonesian agriculture. Let's say 10% of them are willing or excited about agriculture. We got first is collaborate, conversation, always connect, community, and the last one is the complainers. They always complain. The 5C. That's the spirit of the millennials, and that's why the collaborate and community is the biggest attitude that we always try to get from them. We have our own Petani Millennial. We have activity from the small enterprises, and mostly it's young people. We create a lot of community for the young people and the millennials.
Was that your reason from jump to Tanihub from, let's say creative industry?
When I was asked, there was my friend was already there. His name is Astri, but I know him before I joined Tanihub. And then he just told me one sentence. I will say it in bahasa. Mas Deeng, kapan lagi bisa kerja sambil nolong orang? It was struck to my heart. It was struck to my heart. I was worked before in the big cigarette company, where I feel like I'm like a king because I have everything. But now I met so many farmers. I go to Brebes and I meet farmers who they clean up the onions, and every kilogram they were paid 500 rupiahs. If you see 500 rupiah on the street, will you take it? You will not take it, but they need it. That's why I feel so, oh my God, the agriculture was so down in Indonesia. That's why it makes me more eager to help and join the Tanihub. And I was left behind. It's like a payback, like a redemption from the creative industry. We're so glamorous with party and ideas and ego and those kind of things. Now I can come back to my nature is the farmers.
Well, I see you are having fun in Tanihub, so that's really good.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Please join us. We need more people here.
So what about Tani Academy? What is Tani Academy is doing?
Okay, the story of Tani Academy is start when we feel that the biggest disaster of agriculture in Indonesia is not about the land, it's not about the technology, it's not about the infrastructure. The biggest disaster is there is no young people who wants to be a farmer. Average farmer.
Here.
That's why I love you guys. All farmers' average age is 45 years old. So in the next 20 years, they will be 65. If there is no rejuvenation, Tani Academy by part. Because if you talk about agriculture, we talk about the ecosystem important. Because if there's no demand, there's no way. So that's why in Tanihub, we're not really implementing what you call like agriculture 4.0, the precision farming, what you call the IoT drone kind of thing. We haven't done it yet. Why? Because no matter how good in supply, if there is no demand, and then there will be oversupply, and the price will be down, and the farmer will be poor again and again and again.
Yeah,
that's why in Tanihub, yes, you know that. You tell me about it, right? Now, in Tanihub, we always create how to improve the demand. If you look at our Instagram, you will see there's a lot of social movement, social campaign on how to live healthily, how to love our own food, and those kind of things. That's our effort to create more demand, and that's the idea. And in Tani Academy, we're gonna create people, and we're gonna change the perception that farmers is not poor, uneducated, those kind the things that we want to do. So it's still a baby, but we have a dream like that. We have believed that one day agriculture. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I agree with MAGA. Make agriculture great again.
Okay, agreed. Well, I hope many young generation will be inspired from this and perhaps joining Tanihub.
Not only Tanihub, please. Like I told you, we never compete with others. It could be Bagus Hub, anything, because the market is so big. 260 million people need to eat every day. We have 33 million farmers.
Market.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Deng.
Yes,
Now that
you're
we
most
have
welcome.
finished this talk show, I will call Bu Helianti to join this session again, so that we can start our Q&A session. Hello, Bu Heli, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. So, for the audience, if you want to ask a question, raise hand. I will choose you.
So regardless, we call it being a sociopreneur or whatsoever, it's more a title that people are giving it to us. But when you're an entrepreneur, you always focus on what are the problems and what are the solutions and how you create opportunities to it. The biggest challenges is basically it's the gap, because basically we know exactly what the market needs and what the market wants, and basically what they need is actually available at the source. But because the
Yeah.
source doesn't understand about the standards, quality, managing production, calculating price, all those kind of things is creating the gaps. So that's why for us, Java is always about a company that creates company at the rural level. We we always bring in entrepreneurship element at the rural area. So that's why we've been, I think it's the same with Tani Hub, because you soon realize that what do you call it, capacity building is also a major element to it, especially to complement the area where the farmers does not have yet. For example, Mas that has Javara, we have a Javara Academy from a very early on, but since 2017 we spin it off, become Sekolah Seniman Pangan. So it's a school of rural entrepreneurship. We are focusing not only on the on-farm element, but into young farmers for how to set up a cafe, and then we also have a diversify their income, but digital story on their own, so that they also have their own personal brand or their own investment that we do in the human capital. Because investing on machine is easy, investing on their facility is easy, but investing on the human capital, it's not an overnight thing, and it takes years to do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ibu. How can our economic progress be recognized by other countries, whether it is must be from the right government or from the food itself?
First question.
The question is for Pak Deeng, I think.
Oh, sorry. Come again. I'm sorry.
Okay, how can our economic progress be recognized by other countries? Is it more like government work, or is it from the food? It can be from the food.
Okay, thank you. Good questions. I think I have told you before that all the agriculture Indonesia only can be better if the ecosystem. So the ecosystem is the key. So everybody in the ecosystem, all the stakeholders in the ecosystem has to be safe. Because my friend just got back from Japan and he keeps saying, "Hey, where are you working?" "I work in Tani Hub." "Okay." "Oh, petani in Indonesia is there's also different thing." And then they keep in Japan there is so there. And then stop, please. Do you know why? Do you know why the farmers can be so prosperous in Japan? Because the ecosystem is support, the government support, the institution support, the community support, the society support, everything support. Right. So you cannot say just the farmer in Japan is good, but the ecosystem of the agriculture in Japan is good. That's the point. So if you want Indonesian agriculture to be better, we have to know. I met in Department of Agriculture. In every division, they have their own vision. I met with the farmers. They have their own vision. So it is just a silo. Everybody is silo.
Yeah.
They have their own. So we're not going in the same direction. I think that's the problem why agricultural ecosystem in Indonesia is not growing. So I think I hope that answered the question. So why? Because you know lah, you are from the farmers guys. You know how the government, how the society, how the private sector, infrastructures. Oh, we don't have to talk about it. We all know why.
What about you, Bu Heli? Do you have any take from this?
Unfortunately, the government is always the last to join the game.
You tell me about it, Bu. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a time where I was invited to the president office, and he was asking what the government can do for our winning products.
Okay. So
I'm gonna tell you a story, Mas Irfan. That when we open in Bali, when I was young, when I was in college student, if I don't have money, if I go to restaurant Padang, I just rice and there's kuahnya aja, Mas, just the kuah and then it's fine gitu. Because it's already full gitu. Or maybe just one piece of fish but the rice has to be big. Yeah. Learning from that, we can see that Indonesian awareness of healthy living is so low. So can you imagine every Indonesian people, they eat 2 kilograms every month, not every week, 2 kilograms every month, 2 kilograms times 12 times 260 million people. There is millions of tons of sources from our farmers just to change the habits of eating healthy living. So by those we can see, that's why we keep doing it, because we build the demand, we build the market through the awareness. We have also a hashtag called like saya anak sayur, saya anak buah, saya anak, those kind of to make them love their country. Because the proportion, we do hope the proportion of our food is more complete, not just nasi and kuah. I think that's one of our effort how to create other than rice. I hope it answered the question. That's from me.
Bu Heli, what do you think about this?
I think it's the same. Sustainable demand creates sustainable supply. So basically, it's a cycle. If you don't create the demand, then there is no incentive for those to increase the supply of the other commodities. So and how to educate the consumers? We have to sometimes we have to outsmart them. Outsmart them in terms of, in a way, changing their habit is very difficult. I think everybody understands that. But in other ways, it's good because then we can start integrating something else into that diet. So for example, I think all Indonesians, I'm sure they eat at least once noodle in a week, or probably even in a day, right? So Indonesia is a very noodle based diet. So what we did is we integrate the sweet purple potato to our noodle. So we have vegetable noodles that are either mixed with the uses of that ingredients is quite significant in the noodle. It's between 15 to 30 already consuming the other commodities, basically through something that normally they already part of their diets. So sometimes we have to sort of like integrate a bit the other elements into the element that the consumers. Moringa noodle, sweet purple potato noodle, turmeric noodle. I think since 2018, and I think we've sent out consumers more familiar. We have a more smooth penetration because changing.
For Pak Deeng from Gideon Luhur University, he said that agriculture is often associated with, poor farmers or low-income job in general, right? How do you think we can reverse these stereotypical stereotypes and make the young generation to be more interested in agriculture?
Okay, thank you. Good question. Well, actually, like I told you before, that ecosystem is the key. Yeah, and the main goal in TaniHub, all the stakeholders, the stakeholder that we are prioritizing is the market, is the consumers. When Starbucks came in Indonesia, well, coffee becoming very popular. Everybody knows what is cappuccino, what is espresso, and those kind of things, because coffee was so popular. And then the demand was so big. And now suddenly everybody opened a new coffee shops, and many young people becoming coffee farmers, because they how to attract new people in Indonesia, new coffee lover, new coffee in the industry. So I think the same thing happens here with agriculture. So far, people only think that if you talk about farmers, about agriculture, it's about Department of Agriculture. You talk about IPB, you talk about the farming, it's about retail. There are that part. It has nothing to do with me. And that's the thing that we want to chase. That's why we have a slogan: agriculture is for everyone. If you, Mas Irfan, buying our fruit, I have to say, I will sell you a farmer as well. One fruit, one hope. 1,000 foot, 1,000 hope. Million foot, million hope for farmers to make Indonesia better and better. I think that's the key.
Okay.
Create a better demand, and then we will, like Ibu Helia said, that a sustainable demand, it means a sustainable supply. That's the key.
Yeah.
When it's to be sustainable, and then the perception of poor and everything will go away. Finger crossed again.
Yeah, thank you. Do we still have time?
Yeah, Mas Irfan, I think I want to add on that aspect. I think it's very important to also equip the farmers with the diversification of income. They should not rely on one crop only. Because in the past, the government has been pushing a monoculture concept of agriculture, and actually that ruins the sovereignty and the sustainability of the farmers. If we look back into the old ways of our farming, normally they have chicken, they have fish, they have goat, they have rice, they have corn, so they have a bit of everything. So it means they have a more diversified cash flow. They have a daily income from the eggs, and then they have a weekly income from the leafy vegetables. They have a monthly income from, chili or, other things. And then they have seasonal income from rice or corn or soya. And then they have an annual income from goat or from fruits. So that approach has to be returned and the cash flow. The problems is that the farmers during the grain harvest. So basically, we also have to equip them with how to do a simple added value processing to extend the shelf life of their products, so that they don't force to sell their product immediately. So let's assume tomato sauce. When can you find a tomato sauce in a supermarket falls in terms of the price? But you can easily see that the tomato prices goes down to even as low as 300 per kilo. So basically, that's why teaching them about added value processing is important. So that's what we do in Sekolah Seniman Pangan. We also teach them how to do an added value processing with the good food safety standards, using the equipment that they have in their kitchen, basically. So not the rocket science, but they have even without preservative, chemical preservative and things like that. So I think that's something that there are new ways of becoming a farmer right now. So if we want farming become a sexy profession where rural entrepreneurship become the new startup, basically, we have to change it. We have to change the dimension, the diversity. We have to shift it into a creative economy concept rather than just a farming concept.
Yeah. Talking about the sexiness of agriculture, there is a question from Sonia Azara. She asked about how to implement marketing and communication strategy at Tani Hub. So the question is for Pak DN.
Okay, thank you. Marketing and communications. We have two markets. We have B2B and B2C, right? The big idea of what Tani Hub is all about is, like I told you in the very first time, that we are not delivering, we are not selling food, we are delivering hope. That's what we always keep telling them. That's why we have program like Saya Juga Petani. Like I told you before, like Ifan, if you buy one fruit from us, it means you are farmers. Those kind of community that we communicate to them. And then agriculture for everyone. We want to make everybody feel that, you know what happened, why people really don't care about agriculture, because they don't see it directly, they don't feel it directly. I go to Dieng Mas, and then I met the potato farmers. And in front of my very eyes, the farmers told his son, go to the city and work there. Don't follow my profession. Don't be a farmer. Because that's the stories. We believe that if we are just selling products and then we're gonna compete, and when people ask me, I want cheaper here, your delivery is not on time, those kind of things. We don't wanna be bothered by that. What we build is a value. That's what we build. That's why in Tani Hub, all the campaigns, beside in the marketing, there is two type of campaign, right? Promotions and brand building. We build our brand in the consumer's mind that we are not at the first time, our big idea. We are delivering hope. We give hope to the farmers to help us to become, we create a story. Great brand has a great story. If you have, you see our social media sets, and then you will see there's a lot of stories of the farmers, stories of the SME, the consumers. First, we go to B2B. Now we feel that if we want to go scale up, we have to go to B2B. So our market is hotel, restaurant, food industry, and those kind of things. Beside B2C, so we focus on more B2B rather than B2C. I think that's the message that we deliver through our marketing and communication. Yeah. How to create a better brand and more stronger positioning.
Okay. Next question is for Ibu Heli. How can we make local farmers to be open-minded to agricultural technology and sales media?
Seeing is believing. That's the only way. We cannot talk to them. We have to show them. So we always start with champion farmers that are willing to do a little bit more challenging themselves. And then we create a notion based on that. Because basically for farmers, there are too many promises. There are too many empty promises, but very few that deliver. So the only way we can do that is by showcasing the actions and the results out of it. Because I think if you look into the profile of our farmers, many of our farmers also have been doing exhibition overseas. They have been invited overseas as well to do trade show and things like that. So that sent a very strong message. We had one of our farmer, Pak Dwi, that came with us in Salone del Gusto in Torino back in 2014. And he was so impressive, the knowledge that he even can do an urban food foraging in the down center of Torino. And that impresses everybody. He knows exactly what's edible and not edible, even on the sidewalks of Torino. So by 2016, his image, his photo is used as the icon of Salone del Gusto in 2016. And you see his face all over Torino. And then you see Pak Kaping from Salt Farmers from Gusamba. Also, you can see his face all over Torino. So this kind of experience, which other farmers can look at, is very important, because for us, we celebrate these farmers. They are the artists. So our role is to create a stage for them to perform and to connect with the consumers as their audience.
Okay, so this is the last question. We have a really limited time. I think the question goes both for Pak Daeng and Bu Heli. Is there any action at Javara or Tani Hub that has been doing at the moment or plan to do in the next future to solve the food waste problem in Indonesia?
I'll start first with that. So actually what we do by doing added value processing is basically is part of that programs. So let's talk about farm waste first, before we get into the food waste, because food waste is when it's already on your plates or on your table or on at your fridge, and then it got thrown away because it was not even consumed. But we started from the farm waste, because even on the farms, there are so many produce that are wasted because they did not get to market in time. They already spoiled. They don't have the market, or the market dropped significantly. So that's why the role like Tani Hub is becoming more and more important to connect and minimize such farm waste. And in our case, because Javara is always about added value processing, is about products. So we fill in that element of providing skills on how to turn their produce into added value products. Or to also teach them how to create a pop-up farm cafe or rural cafe, so that they can also serve directly to end consumers, like our alumni from Seniman Pangan in Ende Flores. Now they already have their own cafe, so they are serving cafe and food that comes from their farms. And it's becoming more and more of a trend of doing that. So it's part of the reducing the food waste. And then for the consumer side, I think it's very important to have a campaign on the mindful eating. Because the more, like, when both Javara and Tani Hub is putting the story about the farmers, I think people started to appreciate not to waste the food that are provided in our table, because they know how hard it is. They see the faces, they met the person, although it's probably virtually, but there is a connection. We call it a silaturahmi. When the silaturahmi is there, I think you don't have the food.
Machine, those by bricks. So traditionally, when you have 30, let's say 30 tons of harvest, you need 4 days to picking and processing and packaging. With those machines, you only need 6 hours. So can you imagine 4 days you picking, and then the potential to be broken on breakage is very high. But using our machine in Malang, in our PPC, it will cut so many times, and it will keep the freshness and everything. So can you imagine that? That's the first PPC that we have with those machines, and we plan to have all of the machine in our warehouse. And those machine is not only can be used by our farmers, but any farmers can use it. So let's say you are a farmer, Mas Irfan, in Malang, and you can rent us with a very cheap price to make your processing and packaging faster and better. Because by doing those things, we believe that farmer loss will be cut so many, and with the helps also, because it has something to do with the SDGs, right? The climate change as well, because we help to reduce waste, and that's what we do. We plan to build another PPC. We plan to build it in Lembang, in Bandung, special for vegetables, and we also want to build it in Central Java as well. Finger crossed again.
Thank you, Pak Deeng and Bu Heli. I think that's a wrap from this talk show session. I would like to thank you for all the committee and all the participants who has been joining today. I hope we can learn from this session, and let's appreciate these speakers by giving an online applause. Okay, get back to you, MC.
Okay, thank you very much, Kak Irfan, as the moderator, and also thank you very much for Mrs. Heli Hilman and also Pak Deeng, Mr. Deeng, for the talk show. So after this, we will have the token appreciations of the speakers first from our national director, Ms. Gita, if you may. Oh, I'm sorry, there is a change for the speaker. It will be delivered by the national director, Miss Gita, are you there?
Okay, maybe I will substitute the national director.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kana.
Okay, okay. So good morning, Miss Helianti and Mr. Deng. It's an honor for me to greet you and for us to have you in here. It's very insightful for us. As you mentioned before, that Indonesia has a great opportunity in agriculture commodity, and we realize that there are some agriculture commodity that have opportunity to introduce in the society. So I will maybe introduce some in IAAS Indonesia project called Village Concept Project we have in 10 city. We are focused in helping farmer and also villager for making the specific product for solving the problem in there. So maybe I invite Miss Helianti or Mr. Deng, if you have a free time, you can visit our VCP in Bogor, in Bali, or also in Banjarmasin, in Kalimantan, and maybe also IAAS Indonesia member can think about perspective about how to make a good product, for example, and maybe IAAS Indonesia also can visit Tani Hub warehouse maybe to see the sustainable food system or how Tani Hub work. I hope maybe we can learning and collaborate with you in the future, and yeah, it's very enlightened for us today. Let it become a reminder of us that we, your people, are more than capable to become an agent of change, moreover to agriculture and this country. So once again, on behalf of IAAS Indonesia, I want to say thank you to Ms. Helianti Hilman and also Mr. Deng for being the speakers at IAAS Summit 2020. Maybe next, the admin please show the, yeah, there is a certification of appreciation to our speaker, Ms. Helianti, and also Mr. Deng. Thank you for your uh, attendance on this IAAS Summit 2020. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kana. And beforehand, we would also say thank you very much for Kak Irfan Herfiansyah as our moderator. And maybe Kana can also share the token of appreciation first to our moderator.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, Kak Irfan. Thank you for being moderator today. So maybe I will introduce Kak Irfan. You know, Kak Irfan is one of the alumni of IAAS Indonesia, and you know, Kak Irfan is still involving in the IAAS Indonesia program. I think it's very glad to see you again. And I see you are very energetic that I see on yourself today. And on behalf of IAAS Indonesia, I want to say thank you to Kak Irfan once again. So I want to give a token of appreciation for you. I hope IAAS Indonesia can maintain communication with you in the future also. Yeah, thank you, Kak Irfan, once again.
Thank you. Glad being here today with you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kana, for the TOA, and also Kak Irfan as the moderator of today. Okay, so before we get to the conclusion of the talk show, I would like to remind you guys, every participant that has joined event of IAAS Summit 2020, to fill the feedback form that has been shared by the crew in the chat box. If you may, guys, from the crew, you can type in again the link for the feedback. As to get the e-certificate, you need to fill the feedback form. And the crew will pick the best feedback, and there will be prizes for the best fit. Okay, so for the conclusion, before we get to the winner announcement of today's talk show, we get to see two of really cool, definitely really good business in agriculture, which is Jafra and Tani Hub, which they have helping the improvement in supply chain sector, whether in human capital investment to distribution and marketing. From the questions that has been said before, we can know that there is a places for youth to help the agriculture to be more sustainable, and we still can explore opportunities to turn problems and obstacles into solution, and to take part as the agent of change in agriculture. Okay, that is the conclusion. And the next we will have a bit of video first.
Bangga memiliki bisnis yang dapat melibatkan dan memberdayakan masyarakat. Kami, Andika dan Asri, kami berdua tinggal di sebuah desa kecil di pinggiran Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Setelah sebelumnya kami tinggal di daerah perkotaan, kami menginginkan lebih banyak kedamaian dan keharmonisan dalam kehidupan kami. Jadi, kami lebih banyak memusatkan perhatian kepada sumber daya alam yang belum banyak diolah. Kami bekerjasama dengan sejumlah petani kecil di daerah dengan tujuan untuk mendapatkan tanaman herbal dan rempah-rempah berkualitas untuk memberikan manfaat kesehatan. Semua bahan-bahan yang kami proses diperoleh dari tanaman dan 100% alami, diperoleh dari tanaman-tanaman lokal yang terbaik. Menggunakan WhatsApp bisnis membantu kami menjangkau lebih banyak pelanggan baru dan membantu kami memberitahu tentang produk kami. Dan juga lebih banyak mendukung banyak petani lokal. Ini kami telah mempekerjakan 11 pegawai dan telah mengirimkan ke 5 negara. WhatsApp ini adalah satu-satunya alat komunikasi obrolan yang kami gunakan untuk media penjualan dan juga pendidikan. Sebagai media yang kami gunakan untuk mempromosikan loka karya atau kegiatan pendidikan kami kepada masyarakat. Berkat WhatsApp, kami sekarang bisa menjangkau lebih banyak pelanggan, sehingga mendukung kami untuk lebih banyak melibatkan pekerjaan bersama dengan petani. Sehingga kami dapat memberikan dampak positif ke lingkungan sekitar. Bangga memiliki bisnis.
Konnichiwa, ujiannya masih besok. Jangan panik, kalemin pakai macamu.
Alright, after watching that, as a friendly reminder that this event will not be successful if it's not without the help from our sponsor, which among them are East Bali Cashew, Krakatoa, and Maru Bali Coconut Chips.
Okay, so this is the part that all of you have been waiting for, which is the announcement for the Youth Agriculture Challenge winner, Local Year Competition winner, and also quizzes winner. Okay, so maybe the crew for the Youth Agriculture Challenge. Okay, drum roll, guys. So the third place goes to Arifo Dwi Saputro from Universitas Diponegoro with at arifo.protagonist. Yeah, congratulations to Arifo. Okay. Winner goes to Faisal R. Ramadhani from Universitas Gadjah Mada with the account of @FaisalRizkiki. Congratulations, Faisal. And the winner of them all, number one, or the first winner is Valentina MRA from Universitas Gadjah Mada with the account of @valent_. Congratulations to Valentina. And once again, congratulations for all of the winner of Youth Agriculture Challenge.
Next, we will have the winner announcement of the local youth competition. All right, in third place, we have, drum roll everybody, from Gracela Amaris and Dita Putri from Universitas 11 Maret. Congratulations to you. Next, to the second winner, we have, drum roll, congratulations, we have Saudara Tiri Buah Durian by Sonia Azahra and Aurora from Universitas Pajajaran. And now is the winner, the first winner of them all is, roll everybody. Congratulations to Marashi Buah Ajaib, si pemanipulasi rasa. From by Muhammad Rizki and Arini Zahra from Universitas Pajajaran. Congratulations to all the three winners. And next, we have something which is the favorite winner of Local Youth Challenge, Marashi Buah Ajaib, si pemanipulasi rasa with 441 likes by Muhammad Rizki and Arini Zahra from Universitas Pajajaran. Congratulations to you all winners.
Okay, so next one, we'll have the quizzes winner that has been done beforehand.
Yes, it's the quizzes that we've done just now. And beforehand, I would like to apologize because there's only 25 people who can join the quizzes. So yeah, but we need to pick a winner out of the 25 people. So let's get to the announcement. We have Alma Ashila in the third place. Oh, sorry, Alma Ashlia in the third place, right? And then for the second winner, we have by the name Hello. All right, and now the winner of them all, the first winner is congratulations to Safril, and congratulations to all the three of you winners, which will be getting this bundle set from our sponsors. So yes, congratulations.
So don't forget, for all of the winners, you need to send or confirmation to the contacts in the screen. You can screenshot it or write it down. You need to contact us to claim your prize.
Oh yeah, not to forget to mention the one who gave the feedback just now, the one that you fill in the feedback form, there will be winners from that too. So please anticipate.
Okay, so once again, congratulations for all of the winners. And I think this means that we have come to an end, and the summation will be given by Hasna.
Thank you to our lovely sponsors, because this event will not be as successful as it is right now if it weren't by their help, which are East Bali Cashew,
Agradaya,
Krakatoa,
Meru Bali Coconut Chips,
and Machamu.
But before we end it all, we would like to say thank you to all participants for joining us today in this event, and let us remember this moment, which we may not be experiencing in the future.
And we would like to ask for all of the participants to open their camera as for the documentary purposes and also for a bit of memory for this event. Maybe the committee or the crew can help for the documentation.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, is it done already, or do we need to take more photos? Can the crew confirm?
Okay, let's take a photo. Sorry for being silent for a while because of technical things. So I will
Okay.
take the picture. Everyone keep smiling for a while because there is more than one slide. So for the slide 1, 2, 3. And goes to slide 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the last slide, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Back to the MC.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Catherine. Okay. So I think that is the end of today's event. But before we end, we would like to say thank you very much for all of the participants, the speakers, and all the committees that joined us today in this event. And once again, thank you very much, and have a good day.
And have a great weekend to everyone.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Same.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great weekend ahead. I hope today's a good day. Yeah.
Hello.